और नेबरहुड के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए, एक एक देश को अगर आप स्पेसिफिक बताना चाहें। मालदीव्स के प्रेसिडेंट अभी आके गए, लेकिन बांग्लादेश के साथ एक नई सिचुएशन है। श्रीलंका में पॉलिटिकल चेंज है। भूटान के हमारे दोस्त यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं। तो नेबरहुड को आप कैसे डील करते हुए देखते हैं आने वाले दिनों में?
देखिए, नेबरहुड में हमें ये भी मानना चाहिए कि आज जो है हमारा नेबरहुड ज़्यादातर डेमोक्रेटिक है, जिसका मतलब है कि वहाँ पॉलिटिकल चेंजेस होती रहेंगी, जो पहले की सिचुएशन नहीं थी। तो आज जो है वी हैव टू बिल्ड अ स्ट्रैटेजी विच सेज ओके देयर कुड बी चेंजेस ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ द हिस्ट्री, बिकॉज ऑफ आवर साइज, बिकॉज also many common things we have, we will often be the subject of their politics, even if you don't want to be. Okay? So we have to accept that and factor it into our policy. So there will be ups and downs. So 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when Prime Minister Modi came to office, in fact, one of the early discussions we had was, how do we prepare for a neighborhood where there will be changes, where there will be controversies? And the answer is, if we can create a record, not just an image, a record of being the country which is a reliable friend, that, you know, कोई भी संकट आए, भूकंप आए नेपाल मालदीव्स में वाटर क्राइसिस था, श्रीलंका में मडस्लाइड था, या कोविड के समय में पीपल नीडेड वैक्सीन, और ड्यूरिंग व्हेन द यूक्रेन वॉर स्टार्टेड देयर वाज अ फर्टिलाइजर प्रॉब्लम. सो एट टाइम्स ऑफ ट्रबल, इफ द नेबरहुड अंडरस्टैंड्स ओके देयर इज दिस कंट्री इंडिया, it's a generous country, it's a large country, it is willing to step out, it will not get into, I will do what you are doing for me, not that kind of reciprocity. I think if we create that kind of record, which I believe we have, and to me the sharpest example is Sri Lanka. When Sri Lanka got into trouble, within a matter of weeks, we stepped forward, and we stepped forward without subjecting Sri Lanka to I would say political, economic and other conditionalities. So today in Sri Lanka, we have seen a very, very big political change in Sri Lanka. Okay, a party which has never formed a government on its own is today in power. But when I went and met the president of the party and the foreign minister of the party, for them, they actually said that, look, for us, every Sri Lankan in our minds, India was the country which stood by us at that time when the rest of the world was debating or looking away or negotiating. So with each of these countries, we will have, you cannot have this many countries and have their own politics and not expect problems. Now, there is also an issue in India that every time something happens, somebody will stand up and say, see, your policy has failed, you have a problem. So that is the time for me to keep my mouth shut and wait for the cycle to turn, and then, look very pleased with myself when things go our way. So, it's part of our debate. I know right now people are saying many things about Bangladesh, but I urge you to look at the reality of our relationship with Bangladesh. Look at the economic relationship, look at the trade relationship. We issue 1.6 million visas a year in Bangladesh, of which I think 30% is for medical purposes. So, the more we invest in our neighborhood, if today this neighborhood is, a country somewhere is producing electricity, another is buying it, one is refining petroleum, another is purchasing it. If a waterway runs from here to there, I use your port, you use my port. If your tourists come to me and my tourists go to you, this is how you build a region. And I would say the country which has set an example for the region is Bhutan. Because if you look at it, Bhutan started, it was actually Bhutan which had the wisdom to say, okay, let's collaborate, we will generate electricity out of Bhutan, and you commit to bite. So there is a lesson which all of us have to learn. And sometimes,